Yeah, as the school year begins, all sorts of interesting courses and degrees happening all across this country, and specifically Central Washington. They have a brew degree. With the growing beer industry across the Northwest, Central Washington adding a beer degree. I think some brew likers would enjoy this course right here. But Chelan High School adding a viticulture program. Central Washington, as you know, big into winemaking, viticulture, the cultivation of grapevines, and really promoting people to get into that industry, staying in Central Washington and helping the wine industry. But these are going to go national now here. Let's take a look at Duke University. They got a class on the selfie, and they are talking about the evolution of photography and how it has changed over the years to now at the point we are with the selfie. What else do we have here? The politics of Kanye West at St. Louis University. They are studying this man right here and his rise to fame, but also his involvement in politics and race. And that is a course that's happening in Missouri. How about this, though? Surviving the coming zombie apocalypse. This at Michigan State University. They say that they explore the human psychology and behavior during disasters and catastrophes. So if you're thinking, you know what, I want to get back into school, maybe Michigan State has a course for you and you can survive the coming zombie apocalypse. I'm Alex Rozier, King 5 News.